Hi, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tara, and I help inspire you and empower you to stand in your own power and manifest everything that it is that you want. And so today, I really wanted to talk about what actually got me through my breakup, because breaking up with someone who is toxic and a narcissist is hell on earth. And breaking up it's really hard because you know that you're going to have to be on your own and not have that safety net, not having that security of having someone there in your life. And sometimes, I think mostly all of the time, and this is going to sound absolutely nuts, but we would rather be in our abusive relationship than to be on our own. And that's trauma bonding. It's absolute trauma bonding. And to think to be on our own is it is mortifying. Absolutely mortifying. Like, I get you, I understand you. I have been through it, but now I'm on the other side. So now I can actually talk about my experience and tell you that you are being supported, you are being guided, and that it will always work out for you. Now, what actually did get me through my breakup, mind you, I had a 4-month-old, no job, and little savings. And soon after we broke up, we went straight to court. So it was hectic. It was very hectic. And what got me through it was spirituality. It was finding out the law of attraction and manifestation, because knowing that there is a higher intelligence, I felt so safe. It made me feel like I wasn't alone, and it made me realize that with the right intentions and visualizations of the future, that I can actually manifest anything that it is that I want. Any little big thing. And that's what really got me through. It made me feel like I was not alone. And yes, I went through a dark night of the soul, and it was lonely, it was scary, but it was the best damn thing. It was the best thing I could have gone through. And for those of you who are thinking about breaking up with their toxic partner, or have already broken up and you are currently going through this dark night of the soul, I want to be able to create this community of people where we feel safe, where we feel secure, where we can hold each other, where if you have questions, I'm here. Other people are here. So I'm going to link below my free Facebook group, and there just post your questions, post your comments, just day-to-day inspiration, post, like, go nuts as long as it's positive. And of course, any questions on narcissism or toxic relationships, go for it. Just don't be bringing anyone down, no judgments. This is a safe space. And I just want to be raw. I want to be authentic with you guys. I want to tell you everything that it is that I've gone through, so you don't feel alone. You don't feel like you're the only one, because those are the things that I felt through my breakup. They're all the things I felt. And I was in absolute denial. I was in denial of being in an abusive relationship. I had no idea what um emotional abuse was. I'd never heard of financial abuse. I'd never heard of a narcissist. I'd never heard of gaslighting. And it took me a very, very long time to accept that I was in an abusive relationship. Just because it wasn't physical doesn't mean it wasn't abusive. And I didn't want to I didn't wanna believe that I found myself in an abusive relationship. And it wasn't until I started doing some research and found out what emotional abuse was and gaslighting was, I'm like, "This is everything that happened to me. This is everything I've gone through. This is exactly the things that he would say and do." So it was very scary for me. And, friends, they're in loving, beautiful relationships. I'm the only single person amongst my friends. So it was hard, but I didn't look at my friends in jealousy. I looked at them in awe, like, I want that. That's what I'm going to have. That's what I'm going to have. And having a 4-month-old, there was no way. And for people who have stayed in their abusive relationships, who do have kids, this is not this is just me personally because of how hard and scary it is to leave these kind of relationships because of the trauma bonding, because of the financial situation, financial dependency. Totally get it. But for me, my having my daughter was my saving grace. Having her, I was just like, no, I'm not, I refuse, absolutely refuse to have her in this kind of environment. And now, like, I'm not going to settle. I'm still currently single, and I was codependent. I wasn't codependent, but I was always in relationships. I never found myself always to be single for a long period of time. I was always dating someone. So to finally be single and alone, it took a lot to getting used to. But I'm so glad I did it. You gotta push through it. You have to push through it. And I'm not gonna settle for anybody less than perfect and amazing. Of course, like, I don't mean perfect as in, like, you have to be absolutely perfect, we'll have our imperfections, but I'm not gonna settle for anyone that is going to treat me like crap. I refuse to have my daughter in that environment, and I will wait for that right person. I'm 3 years out of my breakup, and man, it's been a journey. It has absolutely been a journey, and like Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you don't know of him, he's a neuroscientist and he has studied law of attraction, manifestation on a scientific basis. And he's actually been able to prove how manifestation works through using visualization and emotions. You can manifest anything you desire, anything. And so that made me feel so good knowing that there is a higher intelligence that we can't see that is like we are surrounded by, that is within us, that is supporting us and guiding us. And when we as human beings feel the need to control situations, we always feel the need to know the future. And after my breakup, I found myself going to psychics and just needing to know what's going to happen for me, needing to know when my next relationship is going to be. And I mean, if a psychic had told me it's going to take you 3 years or more, I think I would have burst out crying at the time. Um, so we always feel the need to know what's going to happen and control our environment. And so when that control is taken out of our hands, so when when you go through this toxic relationship and this person gets taken away from you, whether you break up or this person leaves you for someone else, this is the universe doing its good work for you, because the universe only wants love for you. It only wants you to be in love with yourself and your life, and just it wants everything to just be absolutely pure and beautiful and full of love. And so the universe will sometimes take it out of your hands and make that breakup happen. And and in such a way that, your partner may leave you for someone else. Okay, that's the universe doing its work for you because you are not supposed to be in that relationship. Do you really think that We were put on this earth to be treated this way, to be spoken to this way, to be in this kind of relationship. Absolutely not. Is it a life lesson from the universe? Absolutely. Do we need to learn from this life lesson? Yes. And that's exactly what I have been doing for the past 3 years. I went into absolute deep reflection. So I knew how to never allow myself to get into this situation again, to get into another toxic relationship. Never again. Never ever again. So I had to go within myself and learn why I attracted someone like this. And it's always, this has never happened to you, it's happened for you. So you need to work out why it happened for you. Because, yes, while this person did treat you this way and spoke to you so awfully and gaslighted you to the max, manipulated you, and yes, it was all their doing, but it's because we didn't stand our ground. It's because we didn't have boundaries. And so this is everything that we need to learn from: how to notice the red flags, how to set our boundaries. And so going into, yeah, just deep reflection work, journaling your feelings, like, I'm so mad, I like, you know, whatever's on your mind, if certain events are coming to your mind, jot it down. Jot like what the event was and how it made you feel. Just write it down, because it's taking it from the mind and copying and pasting it onto the paper. And then you'll find that it slowly releases from your mind onto the paper over time, every time you write it down. So journaling is really great. And the one thing I never did was become a victim of my own circumstance. And while, yes, you and I are victims of our circumstances, never play a victim, because it's just going to get you into like a downward spiral. And yes, we need to give ourselves compassion and empathy for the situation that we've been in, but we need to be looking forward. And yes, we need to be reflecting, feeling the emotions, feeling the anger, feeling the pain, feeling the sadness. We need to be feeling all of that, because if we don't feel it, we can't release it. So it means crying your heart out. It means throwing pillows on the ground. It means screaming into your pillow. It means chatting to your friends about how you're feeling, how it made you feel. That is releasing. Okay, you are releasing all of these emotions, you are releasing all the trauma. If we don't do that, we're bottling it up inside. But whilst we are doing all of these things, we need to be reflecting on all of these events, on all of our emotions, and asking ourselves, okay, what is it that I need to do better? What is it that I need to do? So try not to go into victim mode. Always try to look at the bigger picture, and always, from every single event, being like, okay, what do I need to learn from this? What is it that I need to learn? Because everything is a learning curve. And so when we start doing this, and just let me tell you right now, your narcissist, they are going to play the victim role so hard. So hard, it's going to make you sick. So just keep that in mind. But one this is by doing all of this work, this is actually you shifting your energy and starting to come into alignment. And you may find that the world is just crumbling around you. You may be losing friendships, relationships of some kind, your job, your house. You'll feel like everything is crashing and crumbling around you. And this is completely normal. Completely normal. Okay. This is why we need to have ourselves the support from our friends, from myself, from people in similar situations or the same situation. And just know that, again, this is the universe bringing you into alignment because that person wasn't in alignment with you. Those friends are not in alignment with you. They are bringing you down in some kind of way. That job wasn't in alignment with you. And so once we surrender to the universe and be like, okay, and just repeating to yourself, this has to be your mantra. The universe has my back. And my God, it is so scary to it's not scary, it's very hard to believe that. It's very hard. But once you keep just be researching law of attraction and manifestation. The more that you learn about it, you'll find that things it's all the same. It's visualization, emotion, and then stepping into that person. But before we can manifest, I highly, highly recommend do at least 1 year of just deep reflection work because by doing that, you're already coming into alignment. And then you'll find like the right type of job will come along, that kind of people will come along. But I highly recommend to not date for a year because you need to be learning a lot about yourself and you will be learning a lot about yourself and you're going to be having a lot of trauma stored in your body and in your mind that you still need to work through and getting into a relationship you're going to be bringing all that unhealed trauma into that next relationship and then that's going to create a toxic relationship within itself because you're not trusting anymore. This person that may be doing certain things, you may think there's an underlying um that like there's something else going on behind it. I'm lost for words right now. But you're just not going to be trusting for a very long time. And so it's going to create a very toxic relationship because this person's not understanding why. And whilst you can tell them why, it's still you that needs to work through it. They can help you to a certain extent, but they're going to get sick of the not trusting part and always thinking that they're doing something behind your back. So then it can get very unhealthy very quickly. So I highly, highly recommend to just sorry, my nose is it's really itchy. Yeah, so I highly recommend to not be dating for 1 year. I'm only, as of now, 3 years later, ready to date. I feel good now. I have now attracted and manifested the most amazing, incredible job. My boss, I work at a wellness center where we do a lot of energy work. My boss is the most spiritual person I know. Like, she's just on another level, and it is incredible. Like, if anyone had heard our conversations, they would put us into a mental home, seriously. But me and my boss are in such alignment with each other, and she is so incredibly supportive of me and being a single mum, because now that my daughter goes to daycare, the amount of times she has been sick and I've had to take days off work, I honestly felt like my job was on the line. And this is what happens when you are in alignment. I've been feeling this way for a couple of weeks, and my boss she called me one day to ask me like a question about the days working. And then she said to me, she goes, I feel like you're worried that you're going to get fired. I'm like, yeah, I do because of the amount of days I'm taking off. And she just said, well, I want you to know that you're being completely supported by me. You are a single mum to have, by that time, I think my daughter was 2. And she just said there's not enough support in this society for single mums. And just know that your job is safe and I support you, and your daughter will always come first. And so that, like, that is inspiring. That is a truly incredible human being. And I mean, like, that should be the way of life. That's just how it should be. But this is what happens when you come in alignment with yourselves. You start attracting the most incredible people in your life. And when I got this job, like, it's a highly spiritual place. Like, a lot of clients come in who have gone through a lot of trauma, and so we hold this space for them. And like, I grew up in the area that I'm living, and I moved away for 7 years to the city. I'm in, like, a rural area, and this place had been here for 10 years. Never heard of it, because prior to this breakup, I was never spiritual. I did not believe in angels, in spirit guides, law of attraction, manifestation, had never even heard of that stuff. But spirituality, I just rolled my eyes at. So I was not in alignment with that job. I would have just thought that was just bat beep crazy. um, but now I'm in alignment, and this place is 10 minutes away from where I work. There's no traffic. There's not as oh, there is one traffic lights that I have to go through, but it's 10 minutes away with no traffic. It's incredible. And it's been there for 10 years. I'd never heard of this place. Never. So once you surrender to the universe and once you release control of your life, the universe can start doing its magic for you. It can start bringing people, places, jobs, finances into alignment. And by you breaking up with this person or them breaking up with you, it is the biggest game changer. And I just want to let you know that this is the best thing that can ever happen to you. It really is. And for those of you who are still in these kind of relationships, just know that it will all happen at the right time. Everything happens in the right time. It took me 2 years to find my job, and I didn't even find it. It actually just got attracted to me because I was in alignment. I surrendered to the universe. How I got this job was, and get this is the craziest thing. And again, this is what happens when you come in alignment. So I had this childhood friend. We were next door neighbors. And I hadn't seen her. We were friends not friends, but we were next door neighbors right up until, how old was I? Maybe 10. And like every day would hang out after school. And then I didn't see her for a while because then we moved to a different place. And then we ended up going to the same high school, but she was like 1 or 2 years older than me, so then I very rarely saw her at school. And so I hadn't seen her since I was 17. I'm now 32. And so I moved to the city, and then I moved back, and we ended up bumping into each other at, uh, my daughter's, there's, this community play gym for little kids. And so I was there with my daughter, and I randomly bumped into her, and again, I hadn't seen her in over, was it like 15 years? No, was it 15 years? I think it's been 15 years I hadn't seen her for. And so we got each other's number, we caught up a few times, and then my future boss, my friend ended up getting a job at a clothing store locally. And this woman walks in, my future boss, and she's like, "Oh, do you know of anyone that's looking for a job doing so and so?" And she goes, "Oh, yeah, like one of my friends actually. She is currently looking for a job." And so I had no job at the time, and I was actually about to hand out my resume to places because this was the Friday, the Thursday or the Friday, and I was about to hand my resumes out the Monday after the weekend. And she's like, "Yeah, like I'll give you my friend's number." And so she gave her my number. And so that's how we got into contact. So with this girl that I was childhood friends with, I haven't seen her in 15 years, bump into her. I think it was maybe like 3 months after we got back into contact. This woman walks into her shop asking if anyone knows of asking if anyone knows that he's looking for a job. So how it all happened is crazy, and, like, my childhood friend, she was actually living in the city for numerous amount of years and had only recently moved back to our hometown again. So how everything happened was just mind-blowing. It was just so crazy. And then when I got my job, I think I was working there for a week and then COVID hit. And so I was like, my boss needed to train me, so I couldn't exactly work in between the lockdowns. And so it was very, like, rocky for the last 1 to 2 years, but we made it work. It worked. And I love going to work. There hasn't been a day where I dread going to work. And yes, like, my finances have been very, very tight, but and that's just because of COVID. Um, but is just everything is just popping up. Like, so many opportunities start happening when you come into alignment, when you start um surrendering to the universe. This universe, it is a higher intelligence and it's working for you. It's actually creating situations in your life, and it's probably created quite a numerous amount of situations where it's trying to wake you up and being like, you are in autopilot. This is not how life is supposed to be. Yes, this is a life lesson I needed to give you, because the universe can be harsh. It can be like, if you are not learning from your life lessons, the universe will, it will give you the same life lessons in different forms. Until you learn that life lesson, and for example, your toxic relationship, going through that is a life lesson. Once you learn from that, then you would never get that lesson again. You won't. The universe will, it it will test you, because I have been tested by the universe just to make sure that I'm not going to go back to those toxic relationships, and tested me to see if I could see those red flags and saying no to it. Like, I had been talking to a guy online, and my God, he was hot. He was so hot. And he was saying, like, all the right things, and I was like, "Ah!" But there was red flags, and I found myself ignoring them. I did. I honestly found myself making excuses for them. And like, "No, no, no. No. Not again." I had to be honest with, and this is the hardest thing, dating again, because all you wanna do is just to feel loved. All you wanna do is just be in a relationship again. I get it. Um, and so I was wanting to just make excuses for these red flags, exactly what I was doing in my past relationship. And the hardest thing to do is to be honest with yourself, honest with seeing the red flags, because it is so tempting and so easy just to make excuses for the red flags that you're seeing. And so I was like, "Nope, nope, not again. I'm not doing this again." And so I stopped myself. And like, I was like, just don't talk to me. Like, if this happens, just block them. You have to block them. I don't care how hot they are. They, you want the best for yourself. You want to be in a beautiful, loving relationship. And whilst I'm currently not in a relationship and haven't been for 3 years, I know, like, I know that my next relationship is just going to be unimaginably, I can't even say that word properly, perfect. Good things are worth the wait. And I know the universe has my back. I know. And whatever you're wanting to manifest, I can guarantee you is going to be so much better than what you ever imagined. This job, for example, I could not have asked for a better boss. I could not have asked for a better place. It is so incredible. And I have so many other business opportunities popping up around me that I am going to take a hold of. I'm going to be doing like a candle line. I'm wanting to coach people and guide them to step back into their power. And knowing that I've already gone through what people are currently going through or have yet to go through, I can offer that guidance for you. And so, like, if you want guidance, I'm doing 3 and 6 month guidance mentoring. So just message me, like join my Facebook group and message me privately. And like just so many things are happening that I never thought imaginable. It's absolutely incredible. And so I just want to end this now, but just know that you are being so guided and so supported by the universe. You just need to believe and trust that when you let go of that relationship, everything will then come into alignment. Yes, you may go through a dark night of the soul and feel lonely and feel scared, but that's okay because this is now a time for you to go within and learn so much about yourself so then you can attract the most incredible, loving, supportive relationship. And yours may not take 3 years, it may be a lot sooner. I just know that there are things that I know what I need to do, but there are things that I need to do before I get into a relationship. I know my next relationship is coming soon, but there are a few things that I need to get done, business wise. And so I know what those things are. And I think once I have those things up and running, then the relationship will come into my life. But just know that everything happens in divine timing. Whilst you want to manifest that relationship within the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and if it doesn't happen, it's because everything all needs to happen at the exact at in divine timing. And then you'll look back and be like, now I understand why it needed to take that long. Now I understand why I needed to go through that. Now I understand it all. So just know that I'm here for you. We're all here for each other. Join my free Facebook group. I'll link it below. And you will get through this. You absolutely will. I'm going to be making lots of videos. Like manifestation is what got me through my breakup. That's what got me through it all. So I take a law of attraction approach to healing because that's how I healed myself. It does involve a lot of journaling work. And so, yeah, I'm just going to be doing lots of lives. And so, yeah, come join me live. I'm going to be doing every Friday and Saturday nights. Okay. Love to you all. I love you. I support you and know that you are being absolutely guided by the universe. You are not alone. Whilst you may feel alone, you are definitely not. There is a higher intelligence around you. Okay? You have your angels, you have your spirit guides. They hear you. You don't need to do a special prayer. You don't need to meditate, whilst meditation is highly recommended to get clear. That's what I did also to get me through my I started meditating, but just how I'm speaking now, speak out loud, speak in your head to your angels and your spirit guides. Tell them they cannot interfere because we all have free will. So they cannot interfere in your life unless you ask them to, or unless it's a life or death situation, then they will come in. But they cannot help you unless you ask for it. So ask them, please help me find a job that is for my highest good, that is in alignment with myself. Help me find a support group of some kind. Help me find, friends who are for my highest good. Help me find a hobby. Help just literally anything and just speak just like that. Just you don't need to do a special form prayer, like none of that. They're around you always. You don't need to call them yeah, you don't need to call them in. I've seen lots of videos where you have to call them in. No, they're there. They're always there. They're with me now. And they're with you right now. And they're just wanting you to ask them for help because it's like, oh, I want to help you, but You need to give me permission to help you." So give them permission, okay? And then they will just swoop right in there and they will help you. Okay. Mwah. Love to you all. Bye.